Welcome to the West Virginia Legislature on the West Virginia Channel. The Senate is in
We
session.
love you. We praise you. We thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Senator. Senior Senator from the 15th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please join me as we pledge allegiance to our great country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reading of the Journal.
West Virginia Legislature, Senate Journal, Friday, May 20th, 2016. The Senate
Senator from Brooke requests unanimous consent that further reading of the Journal be dispensed with. The Journal be approved. Is there objection? Chair hears none. Further reading of the Journal is dispensed with, and the Journal is approved. Introduction of guests.
There is no business before the Senate today, no legislation on the calendar, no Senate committee meetings were held this morning. This should be a very brief floor session. The chairs of both the Senate and House Finance Committee say that their spending plans will be revealed this week. This is continuation of our coverage of the first extraordinary session of the 82nd West Virginia Legislature to deal with the state spending plan for 2016 and for 2017.
Introductions. Communications from the House.
There are none.
Communications from the Executive.
There are none.
The Senior Senator from the 15th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Subject to announcements of I move that the Senate recess until 4 p.m. and
Are there announcements? Senior Senator from the 4th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Finance Committee will meet in a different spot today. We're going to meet at 1 o'clock in the chamber. This will give the opportunity for, since the judiciary members are not meeting, to make the same presentations that we'd make in the committee room. But we're going to do that down here in the chamber. So that'll be used for calling people forward with leave of the committee if people want to hear from agencies and they're being contacted to be here. Also, though the budget bill has not been voted on, in an effort to get the information to you on the system for all Senate members, normally a Finance Committee substitute would only be available to Finance members for the Finance meeting, but under the bulletins, I think it's going, you can find it. If you cannot, contact us upstairs and we'll tell you that the committee substitute should be available on the system very shortly. So that would be my announcement, and we'll be here at 1 o'clock.
Further announcements. Senior Senator from the 15th.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The majority party will caucus immediately following this floor session in the Senate President's conference room.
Further announcements. Further announcements. If not to question before the Senate, does the Senate stand in recess until 4 p.m.? All those in favor will say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The Senate stand in recess until 4 p.m.
And yes, a very brief floor session in the Senate. They are meeting at 1 o'clock in the Senate chamber to discuss budget matters. We will find out about that to make sure that legislative staff is operating the cameras for that meeting. And if so, then at 1 o'clock we will bring you that important meeting from the West Virginia State Senate. The House will meet at 11 o'clock, and the West Virginia Channel will be there. There are two bills on the House calendar this morning. On second reading, the amendment stage is Senate Bill 1005, increasing the tax rate on cigarettes and tobacco products. The other bill at first reading is House Bill 106, reducing the distributions to the West Virginia Infrastructure Fund. So those bills are before the House of Delegates. The West Virginia Channel will join the House of Delegates when it convenes at 11 o'clock. Until then, I'm Beth Voorhees for the West Virginia Channel, a service of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.